the first thing we're going to take a look at here is that the Jacksonville Jaguars should move on from Trevor Lawrence. Now, it's safe to say that Trevor Lawrence has not had that great of a rookie season. If you just take a look at the stats, he's about 59% completion percentage, 3,225 yards, 9 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Those aren't great numbers, but also it's tough to say it because the Jags have a decently talented team, but it doesn't help when you're brought down by the biggest mistake of the offseason, hell, maybe in the last few off seasons, in Urban Meyer being your head coach. No quarterback is going to be able to develop under them. That's like trying to ask Justin Fields to develop under Matt Nagy. It just doesn't happen. And it's never going to. So, the Jags have already made the right choice by firing Urban Meyer. Of course, I said that they should have done that by the bye week because he wasn't going to work out there. The Bears had to do the right thing by firing Matt Nagy. Of course, they're more than likely going to. I would be a little bit concerned if I'm a Bears fan just because they haven't before. Now they've re-signed him. So, cautiously optimistic is what I recommend to be right now. He has said that he expects to be coaching the next 2 games. As soon as that's done, they better just freaking can them. Hell, I know the Bears are probably not going to fire him until the end of the season because they never have as a franchise, so that just doesn't seem like something they do. They probably want to keep that streak going. But at the same time, it wouldn't hurt to at least announce that you're going to fire him so you can get started on the hiring process, in the interview process, like what the Jags are doing. Because they've been interviewing all sorts of guys. They're taking, or at least requesting to interview guys. People on the coaching list include Packers offensive coordinator Nate Hackett. It includes, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator for the Bucs, Brian Leftwich and Todd Bowles. They're going after the Cowboys coordinators and Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn. And then they're going over with former Eagles head coach Doug Peterson. So they have a good slate that they're going with. And actually, I'm super happy with the names they've been looking at so far. But is it too late to save Trevor? I don't know. What a lot of people like to take a look at, especially with any rookie quarterback that struggles their first season, they like to use Peyton Manning as an example. And he could be a really good example. Of course, he was not good in his rookie campaign. And then he turns around. Oh, he almost does a 180 the next season. And then, of course, after that, the rest is history. 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, MVP, all sorts of awards, and the NFL Gold Jacket. All right. So, safe to say, he turned it around after that first week. His stats, if you want to take a look at just compared to Trevor Lawrence's, was 57% completion percentage, threw for his 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. Now, it's that part where I think that this narrative maybe falls apart a little bit, or this comparison, because Peyton Manning, he made a lot of mistakes, a lot of interceptions, 28 of them, a lot of pick sixes. He was not a clean quarterback, but at least he had a decent amount of offensive production to back it up. The problem with Trevor Lawrence is that he's just not doing anything. He's throwing for 14 interceptions, only 9 touchdowns on the season. I think he's combined for 1 the last 4 or 5 games. At least when Peyton Manning was throwing interceptions, he was also throwing almost the same amount of touchdowns when that was happening. Trevor Lawrence is throwing interceptions, and he's not really doing anything with the scoring. So it's way less excusable. He doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. He doesn't look comfortable on that offense. But at the same time, you can't use for a start. This is absolutely an overreaction. There's no way in hell that the Jags already are looking to move on from Trevor Lawrence. This guy is a freaking franchise. He can very well be a franchise quarterback. I would much rather prefer the Jags if I'm them. I'm taking an offensive coordinator. I'm taking the quarterback guy. I'm taking in Brian Daboll. All right, I'm bringing him in. Because I don't want someone to coach an offense. I don't want someone to coach a defense. If you have a possible generational talent in Trevor Lawrence, he's your primary focus. You should bring in a guy that's specifically going to be tailored to Trevor Lawrence and specifically tailored to his success. Now, a benefit of almost like a byproduct of making Trevor Lawrence good is that your offense is going to get better with that. It's going to keep your defense off the field. Of course, I prefer a offensive-minded or a offensive-minded head coach, a solid offensive coordinator, and a solid defensive or so I guess a offensive-minded head coach and a defensive coordinator to back them up. I don't like a defensive-minded head coach and a offensive. And you try to like bolster the offense with the offensive coordinator. I mean, just as being a Broncos fan, take a look at Denver. Vic Fangio, fantastic defensive coordinator, defensive-minded head coach, and then he doesn't do anything with the offense. So what do? You give it to Pat Shurmur. Never give anything to Pat Shurmur. Never. He's so bad. Of course, I say that every week. I'm sure you guys are getting sick of it, and I'm getting sick of watching the Denver Broncos. So yes, to be said, is an overreaction. The Jags absolutely they need to go. If they're not all in yet, they have to go all in on Trevor Lawrence.